Conserve Turtles says that over 1 million marine animals, including mammals, fish, sharks, turtles, and birds, are killed each year due to plastic debris in the ocean. But the thing is, it's not just a problem near the ocean, it is also a problem near you. Idaho Conservation says that evidence shows that pollution in Lake Coeur d'Alene is getting much worse. Um, I love the outdoors, and recently I've been interested a lot in marine wildlife, and I've also done a bunch of research in order to be credible to talk about this topic. But one easy way to limit pollution is to stop using plastic straws and start using reusable ones. Just to preview my main points, we are going to first talk about the problem. And the problem is that Americans use 500 million straws every single day, and that's from Conserve Turtles. But the problem with this is that most of these straws end up in oceans and lakes or landfills. And with the plastic isn't biodegradable, so it never fully decomposes. And so wherever it ends up, it is still causing a problem. And then, so the solution to this is to stop using plastic straws and to start using reusable ones. This can have a lot of benefits and some consequences. Some of these benefits, it's really like a small thing to stop using straws, but it can make a huge difference. It can help oceans, marine wildlife, and it can specifically help sea turtles and other marine wildlife. But now we're going to get into the problem, and we're going to talk about how the plastic straws put the sea turtles and other marine wildlife animals at risk. The straws and the plastics, like I said earlier, they usually end up in the ocean or landfills or something. And even if they end up in landfills, there's still a chance that like a lot of that stuff gets blown away or somehow it'll find itself into the wrong spot. But it's our job to try and limit the amount of plastic that we use. And a way that we can do this is by trying to eliminate the use of plastic straws and getting reusable ones. But straws are one of the most common items found on the beach in cleanups, and that is from Turtle Saver. So what happens when the plastic's in the water? All marine wildlife has a chance to become entangled in it or accidentally ingest the plastic. But specifically turtles, once they ingest the plastic, it'll block their digestive tracts, and so that will lead to starvation, and that is from Turtle Savers. But more than 1/2 of the world's sea turtles have ingested plastic, and that was crazy to me. But because of their body's anatomy, they have a higher chance of the plastic actually causing a problem once they ingest it. Because so you see how they have this is the anatomy of a sea turtle, and then they have that downward facing spine that like goes into their throat kind of. So this prevents regurgitation, and so once they ingest the plastic, they cannot regurgitate it, and so the plastic gets trapped inside of the turtle's body. Another thing that turtles can suffer from is called bubble butt syndrome, and this is when their bodies try to digest the plastic, and they're trying to break it down, and it actually produces a gas inside of their bodies, and so this gas is trapped inside of their bodies, and so it causes them to float to the surface of the water, and so because of this can lead to starvation as well. But another thing is that it makes the turtles, an easy target for bigger prey. And so it can, as you can see, it can cause a lot of problems to the sea turtles, and it really is a downfall to them because they have those downward spines that they cannot regurgitate. But so now that we know the effects that they can have on sea turtles and other marine wildlife, we're going to kind of go into the solution and what we can actually do to help. So in order for us to help sea turtles and even just to eliminate local pollution around or near us, it's a small thing, but we can really just do one simple thing, and that is trying to stop using straws and using the reusable ones instead. see. So this isn't gonna eliminate the problem completely, but it is going to help. Like if you think about how many straws that you use, I know I used to use a lot until I learned about this and I realized that what a difference that I can make just by changing one small thing in my day. But so it's like I said, it's not going to eliminate the problem entirely, but it will make a big impact in the end. And so all you really have to do is if you're going out to eat at a restaurant, if they ever open back up, or if you're going through the drive-thru, all you have to tell them, just say, hey, I don't need a straw, and they won't give you one. And it really seems simple and that it won't make that big of a deal, but if you think about how many you use, and then if you get more and more people, and as this becomes a bigger thing, it really will make a big impact in the end about the overall pollution that is going into our oceans and in our communities and ecosystems. So there can be a lot of benefits to us not using straws, but there can also be a lot of consequences. So one of the benefits is obviously less plastic equals less pollution. And so that can help the turtles, the oceans, and just our overall pollution levels. But they can also have consequences if we don't start trying to limit our plastic pollution. By 2050, if the amount of plastic that is being deposited into the ocean remains the same as it does right now, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish. And that's from Earth Day Facts. But honestly, the right thing to do is just one simple thing. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, but all you have to do is say, no, I don't want a straw. You can just drink out of the cup without a straw. But if you're like me, I like using straws. So all you have to do is buy a reusable pack on Amazon. You can seriously find them from $5 to $10. And there's even some that come in these cool little packages. And so they actually collapse. They're collapsible and you can stick them in there. And then most of them, you get these cool little cleaners. They have all sorts of colors. You get a cool bag to pull in. But I kind of like these ones myself because you can just put them anywhere and then just keep them with you so you have them ready. But it really is just a simple fix. And like I said, some people, you might not think it's that big of a deal, but it's just doing the small things just to try to help a big problem. So just to review my main points, we went over the problem, and that the problem is that we are using so much plastic and so much of it ends up in our oceans and in our lakes. And so after we went over the problem, we got into the solution. It's not going to fix the whole entire problem, but it's an easy, simple thing to do right now that will impact hugely in the long run. And that is stop using plastic straws and using reusable ones. And then we went over the benefits and the consequences about how we can help the environment, help save the sea turtles, help all other marine wildlife, and help our ecosystems, or the consequences, it'll just keep building up, and then we won't be able to enjoy the beautiful world that we have to live in. I'm going to finish with a quote that I used earlier. 1 million marine animals, including mammals, fish, sharks, turtles, and birds, are killed each year due to plastic. And you can do your part just by skipping a straw to try and help these animals. And for the sake of these animals, just skip the straw.